was this win a passing of the torch at Mercedes? And is Russell now the team's number one driver with Hamilton leaving at the end of the year?
I feel like he maybe has been the number one driver for a little while now. If you think about it, this is his second career win. Obviously, both those wins have come with Mercedes, which means they both come since 2022. Lewis Hamilton, you can argue, don't want to open this can of worms here because I know fans still have very strong feelings on it almost 3 years later. But as he saw Max Verstappen pass him for the win of a championship at Abu Dhabi, I mean, who would have thought that maybe Lewis Hamilton won his last race? I don't think he's won his last race. I think he could get another win this year if Mercedes continue to improve. I think he could win a couple races next year when he goes to Ferrari. But the reality of the situation is George Russell has 2 wins in that time where Lewis Hamilton doesn't have any. So maybe they're just building him a better car suited for his driving style. Maybe Lewis Hamilton has lost a step and is no longer in his prime. Maybe it's a combination of both. But I think certainly with Lewis, almost having 1 foot out the door at this point, because we see Mercedes down in 4th in the constructors here. Actually, McLaren's still only 3rd. It looks like still, 23 points back from Ferrari because they had a slower start to the year. Comes back to bite them here once again. But regardless, Mercedes down in 4th. We know that they're not going to fight for a driver's championship at this point in the year. They can maybe get a win here or there, a podium here or there. But I think Lewis is, whether he wants to admit it or not, he's probably out in public at least saying that he's still focused on ending the year strong with the team that's given him so much success. But you have to think he's starting to think about 2025. And with the fact that George Russell seems to be on average running a little bit better than he is right now anyway, I think we can certainly call George Russell the number one at Mercedes right here, right now in 2024. It takes nothing away from what Lewis Hamilton has accomplished with Mercedes and accomplished all throughout his career. But I think the way Russell's running right now, he's certainly racing, like, forget who his teammate is for a second. George Russell is driving like a number one driver right now. I can tell you that much for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I think George Russell has been the number one driver at Mercedes for a while. When Lewis Hamilton announced, at the start of the season that he was going to be out the door and going to Ferrari in 2025 and beyond, I have a feeling inside the Mercedes factory that they were thinking that, with Lewis leaving, we're probably going to put all of our attention behind George Russell and make sure, that he's getting our all. And I don't think, that they're doing anything to disadvantage Lewis Hamilton or anything like that. Unfortunately, the relationship between Mercedes and Hamilton, despite all of the race wins and world championships and constructor championships that they've won, that relationship has just run its course. And now it's time to flip the page. And George Russell, obviously, in the future plans of Mercedes, and Kimi Antonelli as well, as you guys have talked about on the Encore show quite a bit throughout the season. So I feel like George Russell is his team leader right now, and he's going to lead the team well into the future. And I think George Russell is going to continue to do great things with Mercedes, and as Mercedes tries to get back to the top step of the podium on a more regular basis, I think that Russell is going to continue to win more Formula One Grand Prix, assuming that Mercedes is going to give him the car to compete